Hi, this is Travis Shaw, Director of Education with the Virginia Piedmont Heritage Area. I'm joined by another really great friend of mine, Laura Christiansen. Laura is the Curator of Manuscripts and Archives here at the Thomas Balch Library in Leesburg, Virginia. Now, if you're not familiar with the Thomas Balch Library, it's one of the best community resources here in Northern Virginia for learning about your local history. We've got a huge collection of periodicals, books, as well as manuscripts and archives, which is where you come in. That includes not just historic documents, but historic objects as well. Now, since we've been talking about Lafayette's visit to Leesburg in August of 1825, I thought I'd use this opportunity to share one of my favorite souvenirs from that visit, and Laura can tell us a little bit about the portrait that you see here.
Thanks, Travis. Yeah, so we have here a portrait of the Marquis de Lafayette, done in 1825 during his visit. It's framed, and we'll give you a close-up in a minute. It is a sort of watercolor and gouache painting. It's very nicely done. The portrait was done while he was here by a lady on his occasional visit to Leesburg. And we have here, in terms of provenance, the signature of Judge L.P.W. Balch. Judge L.P.W. Balch was on the committee welcoming the Marquis and planning his visit. He also was the father of Thomas Balch, who the library is named for. Okay. Thomas Balch actually and his father appear in the newspaper accounts of the event. So the judge was there with the committee. He presented Thomas Balch, who at the time was 4 years old, to the Marquis, and he apparently did a little poem.
Oh, do we have any record of the poem?
We do not.
Oh no, that's such a shame.
So the next sort of presentation of youthful impressiveness was a young lady who did a poem, and that one is recorded in the paper, so we have to assume it maybe was a little bit better.
Well, let's not knock Thomas too much here. So fantastic! This is such a one-of-a-kind item. I've never really seen anything else like this, and to have the connection with the Leesburg community, with the Balches. Now, in our last stop at the Loudon Museum, we did talk about the committee, some of the guys that made up the committee to welcome the Marquis to town, and a little bit about the ceremonies that took place. A lot of toasting, 50 different toasts, something like that.
And if you're interested in the events, I recommend taking a look at the Genius of Liberty in the Virginia Chronicle, which is a website through the Library of Virginia. For the event, it'll give you an exact rundown of everybody's toasts. So on that, we know that L.P.W. Balch toasted in honor of Richard Henry Lee.
Oh, very cool.
Interesting. So he's our local signer of the Declaration of Independence, which is kind of neat.
Fantastic. Now, if people want to visit the Balch Library and maybe want to take an up-close look at this image, is that something that they can do?
Yeah, you definitely can come in. Anytime we're open, our hours currently are shifting a little bit as we return to normal from COVID. So Monday through Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, 10 to 4, Wednesday, 2 to 8, and you're welcome to come in and request to see this item.
Okay, fantastic. So again, anyone can stop by, visit the Thomas Balch Library here in Leesburg, take an up-close look at this unique portrait of the Marquis de Lafayette, a one-of-a-kind souvenir of his visit right here to Leesburg, Virginia. There's also, as I mentioned before, numerous other items here that relate back to that period in Loudoun County's history. All kinds of great manuscripts. You mentioned the Genius of Liberty, newspaper from that period. Balch also has all the other local newspapers from the 19th century, 20th century here available for research. Court records, deeds, genealogical resources.
Letters, diaries. If you're interested in learning more about Lafayette, we have his memoirs, we have accounts of his life and biographies as well. So definitely tons of stuff you can learn more about him, his visit, or Leesburg at the time of this visit.
All right, thank you so much, Laura, and thank you guys for joining us today as we kind of take a close look at the events of this day, August 9th, 1825, with Lafayette's visit to Leesburg. Thank you.